And we're back in 2019, folks, hanging out inside the Death by Natural Causes exhibit. I am Craig Levati with the Houston Museum of Natural Science, and standing next to me is Chuck Leah. You are a musician, you are an employee here at the museum. You've probably seen this guy walking around the halls, making sure you're not touching things, making sure you're not trying to steal dinosaur bones and things of that nature. And on October 18th and October 31st, just in time for Halloween spooky season, this guy is going to be doing an original score for the 1922 vampire movie Nosferatu. It's a silent movie. That means you have to pay attention to the screen. You can't look at your phone the entire time. You're going to be doing the soundtrack for the movie that you came up with yourself on keyboard, synthesizer, and theremin.
Theremin, yes.
The really scary...
Yep.
Explain to people what a theremin is.
It's an antenna on a box, and the way you move closer to the antenna, the pitch changes. So we try and stay within the pitch of the music.
So it's kind of like that thing like that. Brian Wilson used it on Pet Sounds. Yeah. Plenty of other people used it. And we're going to walk around the museum, and this guy's going to play guitar, and we're going to try to come up with a soundtrack for the museum, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I just sprung it on him. Chuck, you're going to do the music, and I'm going to sing the song about a person dying inside a bathtub.
All right.
Here we go. Dying in the bathtub is easier than you would think. And your skin will probably go down the sink. Top 10 hit. Now, Chuck, how did you become a musician? What's the genesis of that?
Well, my father had a little band that I used to listen to him play, and had a lot of great music around me. I loved Bob Dylan, the band, Tom Petty, Willie Nelson, Jimmy Rogers, all kinds of stuff.
A good old-time picker kind of people.
A lot of old-time people, Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters. And the first time I saw The Last Waltz, I saw how they had changed instruments around, and that made me want to learn as many instruments as I could.
The Last Waltz, obviously an amazing documentary about one of the last performances of the band with Robbie Robertson and all those guys. It's a really good movie. Actually, we should show that on the big. We need to show that on the big screen here.
Yes, I'd be the first one to buy a ticket.
There we go. Let's write some more songs. We got Napoleon's head hanging on the wall because he's dead. He's dead. He's no longer alive. Whoa, whoa. Napoleon's dead. A lot of people want to buy this thing behind us, but you can't because it's owned by the museum. There's a tiger behind us. Me and Chuck don't want to get eaten. Something, something, Will Wheaton from Star Trek. Okay, I gotta stop singing.
All right.
My brain is just too overloaded. So Nosferatu came out in 1922. It's a very noted silent movie. It was one of the first scary movies out there.
Right.
How many times did you have to watch it in order to get your original score down?
Many times.
Many times.
Yeah, probably like 8 times. I had to do it scene by scene. The film is 90 minutes long, and there's 10 tracks per minute about, so that's like 900 minutes of music. And it was pretty difficult. This is my first score. I'd never done a score. I always wanted to do a score. I've done a lot of records. I've done like 19 records with people that I've produced, but I've never made a score. So this was challenging and a learning experience. Yeah, it was pretty difficult. Obviously we don't have room or the budget for an orchestra, so we have to use a lot of the keyboards. So what I've done is pre-record many of the other instruments, violins and cellos and all kinds of stuff, and then I'll be performing along with it other stuff like the piano and the theremin and things like that.
So like you're basically going to be playing to your own samples.
To my own samples, yeah.
You're a one-man band.
A one-man band.
That's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
So Nosferatu, there's a lot of ground to cover, a lot of scenes to cover. How do you jump into that?
So what I did was I played the intro, and there's actually 2 parts to the intro, and I would play that over and over and over, time it with my phone. Okay, it's 2 minutes and 34 seconds, and then sit there and think about what I'm going to play. And usually I start with the piano part and then start adding horns and violins and cellos and whatever. And then when that scene ends, I stop. And Nosferatu is it's very choppy the way each scenes are. So the content is very hard to stick in. So a lot of doing over and over and over and over until I could get it to sync right with the scenes as best I could.
So it's October. When did you start this project?
June.
Are you sick of Nosferatu now?
No, I love it. I love it. It's really wonderful. It really is.
And because it's one of the very first scary movies out there.
It is.
It's
Yeah,
one of
first one that I know of. Yeah.
One of the first movies out there that actually gave people fright. Like if you actually look at the character, it's very.
It's still scary to this day.
Yeah, I remember being little and seeing pictures of Nosferatu, and just being like, I don't want nothing to do with that. I want cartoons. Poor hippo. I'm glad you're dead. Because if you were alive, me and Chuck would be dead. Beard music, everybody. You heard of EDM? This is EBM. So Chuck, I think we should start a band.
We should.
Like a duo.
I'm in.
You play songs on the guitar, because you're a really great singer-songwriter guy, and I'm a good singer guy. And I don't know if I could. Ooh, I made a sound. All right, come see Nosferatu with this guy, Chuck Leah, doing the original score for it, October 18th and October 31st here at the Houston Museum of Natural Science. It's going to be the Burke Bake Planetarium, so it's going to be kind of cool and eerie.
It is. Let's do it.
All right.